Recent media coverage has sparked widespread debate by suggesting that siblings in South Africa may be legally required to support one another financially. Now, headlines implying that sibling maintenance claims are allowed have generated considerable discussions. However, the true legal position is more nuanced. Now, South African family law does recognize duties of support within families, but these obligations operate within a clearly defined order of responsibility, and financial support between siblings arises only in limited circumstances. Hi, Chidumelang, a very good evening. My name is Thabo Molokoane. Welcome to this edition of Soweto Today. Joining us virtually to unpack this complex legal issue is Advocate Sizwe Cele from Sizwe Cele Attorneys. Advocate, much appreciated for taking the time. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening and good evening to your viewers once again.
Much appreciated, Advocate. I mean, this very important discussion. And let's maybe begin the conversation by looking at what exactly is sibling maintenance in South African law and when does this duty arise?
Well, this is a very interesting concept. I must indicate that sibling maintenance is not a standalone concept, but it's a common law. It's a common law legal duty of support.
So under what circumstances can maybe one sibling be legally required to support another?
Well, a sibling may be required to support another if the applicant in the court of law is unable to meet his basic needs. And the paying siblings must be in a position to support the other. And obviously the need must be genuine. It mustn't be just a temporary hardship. It must be genuine and must be ongoing.
So, Advocate, what would be the type of support that would be required in terms of support? I mean, you're saying that it should be ongoing in these instances. But I'm interested in finding out, should it only remain in terms of financial support or other things also?
Yeah, it can be other things like accommodation, medical care, and so forth. Yeah. So it shouldn't be based on luxury. It should be based on necessity.
Interesting indeed. I mean, so how does the law determine whether a sibling has the financial means to provide maintenance?
Okay, what happened is that the claimant, the applicant, will have to go to court, and then the maintenance officer will assess the claim and determining whether the claim is valid or not. Obviously, the applicant will have to submit an income, salary, advice, expenses, asset, property, and existing legal obligations, and then the court will determine whether the claim is valid or not.
So, in terms of the difference between parental maintenance, spousal maintenance, and sibling maintenance, maybe you can explain them in detail. The three of them, the parental maintenance, spousal maintenance, and also sibling maintenance in this regard.
Well, all of them are governed by the law with reference to Section 9 of the Maintenance Act of 1998. But this one, the sibling maintenance, the court have extended a duty of support in limited instances to siblings.
Very interesting indeed, Advocate. We're going to take a quick ad break. Let's get into detail in the next segment of the show, just to get a sense from you, what would be the most common real life situations where siblings, maintenance dispute arises in this regard. We are discussing all things sibling maintenance, which are now allowed in this country. We'll explore real life scenarios where sibling maintenance also dispute arises, and also how courts approach situations such as these. Do stay with us. We're coming back after this. Welcome back. You're still watching Soweto Today. Much appreciated for joining us. My name is Thabo Molokoane. Now, if you just joined us, we are discussing the legal realities of sibling maintenance in South Africa with advocate Sizwe Cele from Sizwe Cele Attorneys, who's joining us virtually to unpack this further. Advocate, much appreciated for staying on. I mean, let's look at now what are the most common real-life situations where sibling maintenance disputes arise.
Well, it happens in most cases where one sibling is unemployed, the other one is employed. So obviously it's got financial muscle to support the other. And the other one is in need of support. So what happens is the claimant will have to go to court, put up a claim, and obviously the court will require him or her to submit documentary evidence such as payslip and expense breakdown. And then the court will look at that. What happens is the matter will be heard for the respondent, the person who's asked to support, also be given an opportunity to put up his case whether he can actually support the other person or not. So it's a two-way string. It's not a one-way string.
So, I mean, earlier on you did touch on the issue of, support in terms of other things such as, medical assistance and all these things. So if an adult sibling is unemployed or ill, does that automatically mean other siblings must support them?
Yeah, there's no age restriction that you can only claim maintenance if you are less than 16 years old or what. As long as you are unemployed and the claim is genuine, you can at any given point in time.
How far does the law go? I mean, this is a tricky question, I know, but can siblings refuse to pay maintenance if they were not close or if there was past family conflict in this regard? How does the law deal with these issues as complex as they are?
Yes, I think each case must be based on its own merit. I think it's very important for me to highlight that part. The answer to your question is no, but the court will have that in mind. That has to be, revisited. That past conflict of family obviously will be a determining factor in the circumstances.
So who determines, or the courts go in and those lengths of finding out if indeed one sibling is financially stable and the other one is not? And also, if, for instance, the family decides that, look, we cannot put the burden on this other sibling, then normally, can the courts force the other one to, or it will have to depend from one sibling who is actually pushing for that to be paid?
Like I'm saying, what happened is the matter goes to court, and then both the applicant and the respondent, meaning the person who's claiming, the person who and the other person goes to court. The court will assess the claim and also assess whether the person who has been claimed can actually afford to maintain a sibling or not. And then the hearing will be heard, and then obviously the court will make a decision. If for example, you refuse to pay after the court has been issued, you can be held in contempt of court, and then it can be a warrant of execution.
So, Advocate, I mean, maybe let me take you back to where this all matters started. How did we come about with such a law in the country? Maybe you can take us back to how were there any cases that were there or studies that were done in this regard? From a legal standpoint, how did we get here as a country? I think that's the softer way of putting it.
You must understand that the law is not static. The law develops with time. What used to happen in the past doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen now. I'm not sure if you understand me. The law develops all the time based on the needs of the people. Like I said to you, this concept is governed by the common law legal duty of support. So you must understand in our law, our sources of law, the common law is one of the sources of our law.
Interesting indeed. Advocate, we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll unpack the legal process that is involved in this whole issue, especially, in applying for sibling maintenance, and also what happens when a maintenance order is not ordered. I mean, you did touch on it just a short while ago, but maybe let's put an emphasis to it so that people can be able to understand exactly what are the consequences of not ordering of not honoring the order that would be given by the courts there. We're coming back after this. We're still joined by Advocate Sizwe Cele there from Sizwe Cele Attorneys as we unpack all things siblings maintenance. We're coming back after this. Welcome back. You're still watching Soweto Today. We are in the final stretch of our conversation with Advocate Sizwe Cele, focusing on legal steps and enforcement of sibling maintenance claims. He's still joining us virtually this evening as we unpack this matter. Advocate, what legal steps should someone take if they believe they are entitled to maintenance from a sibling?
Well, the best place to go to is the maintenance court in the magistrate court. Near you, you can approach the magistrate court and approach the maintenance officer. They will help you to complete the application with ease. So it's a standard application. What you do is you'll be required to submit your ID copy, your proof of income, your bank statement, proof of your expenses, medical report, if any, an affidavit explaining the need.
So in terms of the dynamics of family conflicts, I mean, obviously this would be from your own opinion as a legal mind. Don't we think that this whole sibling maintenance issue might actually inflict a lot of conflict, especially in different families, especially to those people that are actually having a pushback against this?
Absolutely. That will have a devastating impact on those on those who have been claimed. I agree with you strongly on that one. It's gonna. But that's the law. Law is law.
But how do we get families to, deal with each other efficiently without having, quarrels and all these things in this regard?
Unfortunately, the court are the last resort, where people can just approach the court for their recourse. Yeah. So what happens is if one person approached the other person who's in a better position to support, and that doesn't work. If that doesn't work, then the best way to go to is the maintenance court.
I mean, earlier on we did, you did touch on the issue of documents that are actually typically required, including the issues of bank accounts and all these things. And also, we did touch on the issue of if a sibling refuses or fails to pay maintenance when the order is given. Now, I'm interested in finding out what key advice would you give to our viewers to prevent family disputes from escalating in court?
Well, there are many other options that can be adopted, such as mediation. Is one of the mechanisms that I will advise people to embark on. Family mediation, get elders of the family to mediate the matter. And if that fails, then the last option is to go to court.
In terms of these cases, how prevalent are they at this point? Are we seeing people heading to court in this regard? Have we started seeing, orders being issued in this regard? Maybe from your own vantage point, what have you seen?
Well, this sibling maintenance is a new concept, like I said. So there hasn't been much. I think perhaps people are not much educated about this, but with time we'll see a lot of influx of cases of this nature coming to court.
So are we likely gonna be able to see people, understanding this? Because when you talk law, you talk about complex issues. There are technical terms and all these things. Are we likely, or will be able to see people, heading to or understanding clearly what is required and also what is needed in order to make sure that the matter goes to court?
Most definitely, we will see. Like I said, we'll see a floodgate of matters going to court of this nature, where people are claiming maintenance. Because if you look at the current situation in the country, I mean, people are starving. Well, but we must also not exclude, shy away from the fact that there might be some people who want to explore, approach the court, being seen as opportunistic. Yeah.
So, Advocate, just before I let you go, how can people get in touch with you if they want legal advice, and also are there any social media pages that people can go to go and look for your information?
Yes. We are based in Durban, 32 Oma Lane, on the third floor, in Lincoln House, next to the Durban High Court, the old Durban High Court. And we're available on social media pages, Sizwe Cele Attorneys, and we're also available on Instagram as well, Sizwe Cele Attorneys. So people can reach me directly on 082 93 17120.
Can you repeat that number again, Advocate?
082 93 17120.
Advocate, much appreciated. Thank you again for breaking down this issue so clearly for us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewers once again.
Advocate Sizwe Cele there joining us this evening to share his insights and just to give us a legal understanding, particularly on the issues that are at hand, making people understand their legal rights and responsibilities, which are very much essential in this regard. And also, seeking professional advice early can help families resolve disputes constructively and avoid unnecessary conflict. As you heard, they're saying that, look, mediation is the best course of action in this issue so that families can be able to avoid conflict in this regard. That brings us to the end of today's discussion. Remember to share your thoughts with us at currentaffairs@sowetotv.co.za. WhatsApp us is 081 531 8857. From myself, Thabo Molokoane, and the rest of the Soweto Today team, thank you for watching. Your latest news updates up next. Bye-bye.